All right. Welcome to Bucketphoria. This is a basketball podcast presented by Mafia Sports Report and Sports Dynasty. Alex, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. First two games of the playoffs is done. Have some great moments, and not some great moments, but having fun so far these first two games.
Yeah, overall, yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. Even if, we got some things that we didn't like, but overall it's been great. But let's get right to it. So it's been reported this morning that Kawhi Leonard is out for game 3 in this first round series against the Phoenix Suns, and that's when the series shifts to LA, which is, I mean, it's terrible, but again, are you really surprised?
No, for a few reasons actually. Because one, again, Suns don't play people when they're healthy in the playoffs. For one, that's been the common theme for them. And two, Kawhi Leonard isn't usually healthy around this time either. So it's two things that just don't go well. But the crazy thing is that he played game two. He finished game two. He played nearly 40 minutes and played great.
Yeah, I could argue he's the best player in the series. Honestly, I mean, he's been phenomenal, actually on both ends of the floor. And it's interesting. The report said he aggravated his knee sprain in game 1, but then he played game 2 and I guess he aggravated it even more to the point where he couldn't play game 3. And it's just this is just typical with Kawhi Leonard, man. And it was typical already when Paul George got hurt before these playoffs started, and it's typical of Kawhi to get hurt during this series. In a series where it felt, I'm sure from the viewers, it felt like this was going to be very different from probably what everyone expected. In Phoenix, maybe kind of winning this easily, and now even with Kawhi Leonard, it was very competitive. Credit to Russell Westbrook too. Even in game 1, he was amazing on defense. But I'm calling it. I'm calling it. I'm calling this series, man. I'm calling it. I think Phoenix escapes again, and it's interesting. Championship teams always need a little bit of luck to win a title, and they seem to always have that in their playoff runs.
Yeah, they just don't have the skill to back it up. But the thing is, it's crazy too. I'm not calling it yet though, because here's the thing though. Suns gotta be careful with this game 3 coming up tonight, because the Clippers, their role players, they find ways to win games on their own. And since Russell Westbrook is the main person, he can shine. We see this time and time again when if he's the solo act, he can, you know, take his team to victory. So it's I'm not gonna call it Phoenix should win this game, but I will not be surprised if the Clippers pull this one out and take a 2-1 series lead without Kawhi, and I'm assuming he'll be back for game 4.
I'm assuming he'll be back for game 4 as well, and it's a good point that you make that they can show up. You know, the role players can make their perimeter shots, and Russell Westbrook is used to being in this kind of environment where it's kind of like he's running the show right now. Now, the only reason why I'm going with calling the series is because they had such a problem with dealing with a pick and roll with with all three, with Chris Paul, with Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker. And Kawhi was kind of the guy to give them possessions where they would score. I mean, Kawhi was making tough shots in this game, contested threes, damn near getting doubled, almost triple teamed, and he was still scoring as well. So I feel like in the offensive end, they're not going to be as consistent, and it will make those pick and rolls where they get attack on defense just even hurt even more. But like you said, we've seen this before where this team could just make outside shots and they run you out the building, or in a game where they're supposed to lose, they make it very competitive and maybe even get the win.
It's crazy too because it's like I think they went 21 of 27 from the mid range area too in that last game. Phoenix, because they kept getting open looks because both Plumlee and Zubac they don't play drop coverage more often than not. But it's like you look by side by side, right? Kevin Durant hasn't having a game when he went like a vintage Kevin Durant performance. You'll say, because I'm not gonna lie to you, Russell Westbrook doing a great job on him. Like it's like no matter who he's on, he's getting the fits. Whether it's Chris Paul, whether it's Devin Booker, whether it's um Kevin Durant. My biggest fear is since without Kawhi Leonard, who's going to be the one to slow these guys down? Like
Right.
Russell Westbrook could take out what's his name, Durant, but that means the Booker could just run wild and drop nearly 40 on him again.
Yeah, he looked unstoppable against those guys in the last game, and there was a lot of plays where Kawhi kind of looked vintage like in the defensive end in this series so far. A lot of especially in the outlet passes as well. So to kind of lose that, I wonder if Ty Lue finally puts Covington in the series. Now we did see in game 2 where he went full small ball. He didn't put Covington, but he did have Kawhi as center. Now, will he finally pull the trigger and put Covington in this game now that they lost the wing? It's going to be interesting to see.
I mean, I feel like they have to because, for starters, you can get away with having someone small against the Phoenix Suns. Ayton, he's tall, don't get me wrong, but he's not aggressive. So you get someone strong like a Robert Covington or Nicholas Batum on him, I feel like they could bother him a little bit. And they just gotta find ways to, rotate properly.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, Covington is a defensive specialist. He could kind of guard at bare minimum. He's guarding 1 through 4, and at times he can guard 5s. So I'm still confused why he's not playing, and he's a good outside shooter as well. So, I mean, if they want to defend home court, the goal here in this position is to win one. If you could win at least one at home, you're good, especially with Kawhi out. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I hope they make it interesting because I did pick the Clippers to win this in 7, but I don't know. I'll have to see it and see how it goes because I just think that pick and roll is going to destroy them.
Yeah, I can see why.
But now moving on to, we were going to start off with this with the Draymond suspension, which happened in I mean, right, but then this Kawhi thing happened. But now let's go move on to Draymond, and I think his best series in the playoffs so far as well. The Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings. These first 2 games have been classics, but we had a situation where Draymond got put in an ankle lock by Kurt Angle. It looked like, but it was actually Sabonis, and Draymond responded with
we're doing the whole stop like if he's Stone Cold.
Yeah. Yeah, he stepped on his gut, on Sabonis' gut, and it all resulted in an ejection, and then the following day it resulted in Draymond being suspended for a pivotal game 3 as the Warriors are down 2-0 in the series. And Alex, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I think the suspension is utter bullshit. I'm sorry. I think it's some BS, man, because let's be real here. If Sabonis never grabs his ankle, that play never happens. It's that simple. And I understand sometimes when someone continuously has the reputation of doing these type of things, then you punish them harder than in past. But this is clearly not his fault. He didn't have to step on him. Don't get me wrong. I think the ejection was warranted in game 2. But the suspension, I feel like they were going overboard, and they're trying to punish him just because it's him. Like if it was, let's just say it was Klay Thompson who did that, he don't get suspended. Hell, does he even get ejected?
Probably not.
So,
and yeah.
So it's literally a case of because it's Draymond, he's getting ejected. It's Draymond, he got suspended. So, and again, this doesn't happen if he doesn't get his ankles grabbed. And he said it before. They said it in the interview, like in game 1, Malik Monk did the same thing to him.
He did say that in the post game. He did say that in the post game.
So he said, "I'm taking matters in my own hands, and I'm gonna step on him and knock doing off him." I think Sabonis is questionable for tonight too.
Yeah, I think he did get stepped on his gut, so I'm not kind of surprised if he's questionable. But Yeah, I watched Joel Dumar's interview because I think he's the guy who ultimately suspended Draymond.
Hmm.
Um, so it was said it was based on reputation and his interaction with the fans after his ejection. I believe he cursed out a fan, but literally his words. Malika Andrews asked him, "Was it his interaction with the fans?" And he was like, "Yeah, that was definitely taken into account going into the suspension." So it's like I mean, it's horrible. It's
He didn't
horrible,
punch
man, and it
anybody.
sucks. Huh?
He didn't punch anybody. He didn't slap anybody.
He did
He
not.
he caused the fans to boo him more, like if he's a heel, like he's supposed to do. They're into it. They're into it, and he's egging them on. That's fine. Why should that be part of the reason why he got suspended? That's bullshit.
Yeah, when I saw it, it just made it made the series feel more pure. It
Right.
made it feel like, okay, this is the playoffs and this is a true battle and the fans is in it. And I thought that interaction was good for the league, you know?
I would think so too.
But apparently it wasn't, and it led to his suspension, which is like ridiculous. And what's funny about this is everyone would think that the Warriors are out, and I really just think it motivated this team more. And I feel like they're gonna have a phenomenal performance in Game 3, and I feel more confident that they're gonna win this game, and I feel more confident that Steph Curry will have a classic in this game because I've seen it time and time again situations like this where you think, oh, they're done, this is it, and they come and thrive and they persevere and they come out with this W. What do you think?
I think they blow him out for this particular game. I think it's a blowout. Game 4, we'll see what happens. But game 3, I think in this particular game, I think it will be a blowout. And honestly speaking, it's one of those situations that's like it's similar to like remember when Jim got suspended? Not suspended. He got ejected in game 1 against the Grizzlies, and then the Warriors still found a way to pull through and get the win.
I remember that. I remember that.
I think it's gonna be a situation like that where like Steph is gonna have a special night. You know, he's playing great despite getting held continuously
Yeah,
by King
with
defenders.
he's playing good with the cards that's getting dealt to him.
Exactly, he's getting triple team every single look because the Warriors bench. Oh my goodness, I gotta talk about them real quick. Oh my goodness, they have been so bad. Jordan Poole, especially, my goodness, he has been an absolute train wreck in this series so far, especially last game. In my honest opinion, I feel like he's the reason why they lost that game too.
Yeah, because as crazy as that game was, the Warriors were well, I think they brought it down to 3 at
They
one
tied
at
it at
some
one
point.
point.
Yeah, they tied it at one point, and I mean Jordan Poole. I mean he made the wrong reads. All the shots he was making was just he wasn't even close to making these shots. He was just off beyond belief. But these Jordan Poole has games like this. It just sucks that it's happening in this moment where they're playing a very electrifying team, and it just feels like it's damn near impossible to stop them. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan Poole is damn near player of the game or, the second best player for the Warriors in this upcoming game. I give a lot of credit to Moody. He's kind of like really the only guy in the bench that's really kind of doing his thing in this team.
I saw a report too. Today I don't know how true it is, but I saw a report that said that a few of the Warriors' best players are pouting because their roles have been diminished, and like it
Yeah.
was Poole, Kaminga, and DiVincenzo. Kaminga, I will say, I don't know why he's only playing 7 minutes. I'm sorry. I feel like he should be playing more. Seven
I
minutes
feel
per
like
game is
he should be playing more too.
like he
Two-way.
played less. He's played less minutes so far than Moses Moody. I think that's unacceptable. And DiVincenzo, I feel like just needs more shots.
Yeah, he's definitely a big shot maker for this team. He has been all season. So I definitely agree with DiVincenzo getting a lot of shots. I agree
And
with Kuminga getting more minutes. But this kind of thing's been happening to him kind of like all season, right?
what
With Kuminga kind of like in and out of the lineup, getting less minutes. Sometimes he gets a
down
lot.
the stretch this season, he's been playing a lot.
Right.
So that's why. And they've looked better. At least to me, they look better when Kaminga's on the court.
I think they look better with Kuminga on the court as well. I mean, it's obvious. He's about like what? He's about 6'7".
He's 6'7" and has a long wingspan.
It has a long wingspan. He's a two-way. He could shoot the outside shot as well as finish inside the rim. So,
And he looks like he's gotten smarter too.
right. I credit that to him playing in the EuroLeague in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
He improved a lot, but it's got to be something more as to why these kind of things happen to him. Because I can't see why he doesn't play a lot. I mean, he's young. He could play a lot. He got young legs, man.
And Jordan Poole, well, no, there's a reason why he got benched in the second half of that game because that was unacceptable. How bad he played.
Yeah, he became unplayable.
Yeah, it's like he became unplayable. And Gary Payne has been phenomenal. Hence why I love the trade at the deadline. He's been phenomenal. Steph Curry is Steph Curry. Andrew Wiggins, despite not having his legs fully under him since he just came back, and it's kind of crazy how you're just coming back and you have to play playoff minutes in a tough series as well. But he's doing better. But he's doing better than I thought he was. Actually playing all right.
Yeah, I think he's playing really good.
And Clay is inconsistent. It's Clay at this point of his career.
Yeah, it's post-injury Clay. That's what you get with him. Yeah, I'm really impressed with Wiggins too, because just coming back and this is a high intensity playoff situation, and for the most part, he's been answering the call.
Right, and it just sucks that again he has the De'Aaron Fox matchup, which it doesn't help, right? When De'Aaron Fox went 10 for 23 this game, which you'll take that. He just went 5 for 9 in the fourth quarter because he's king of the fourth quarter this season.
Yeah, he's missed the fourth quarter. I mean, that three that he hit, that it kind of felt like the dagger. I'm like, this dude just keeps coming in the fourth, man. I guess he just got ice in his veins.
No, he does. It's ridiculous. How, like in the fourth quarter, it's like he hits a different gear when it turns to the fourth quarter, and that's why when we played the Kings, being in a close game, it's so tough to beat them in because they have so many players that got no fear.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to describe this team, is that they're fearless.
Like, crazy how they're the third seed and they're the one that has the underdog mentality. But many people did forget. Hell, they were underdogs going to the series against Golden State, and they're up 2-0 right now.
Yeah, congrats to Sacramento, and let's see if they close this one out. But moving on.
Let's go to the 2-7 of the Western Conference, Grizzlies and Lakers. So, since when we had the last episode, they didn't play the first game. So, Ja was solid in the first game, then he got injured, and because a lack of return shot, and he drove CJ Davis and had a tough fall, and players like Rui Hachimura had damn near 30 in the first game.
Yeah, he ended with 29, I believe, right?
He had 29. Yeah, all three had 24. And Anthony Davis was Anthony Davis.
Yeah, he almost had like a triple-double with blocks.
Yeah, he had 7 blocks. And here was game 2. Hachimura still played well. Not as well, but he had 20. Reeves was pedestrian.
Pretty much.
And Anthony Davis was Anthony Davis, just the bad version of him. He absolutely sucked last game. And credit to the Memphis Grizzlies, though, because even as undermanned as they are, this is what they do, though. They fight. Especially, and this is what's frustrating to me, too, because I feel like the Lakers came out very, very flat in this game. With a team that talks as much as they do, you think they're just going to lie down like this?
Yeah, that first half was very lifeless for this Lakers team. And it was frustrating to watch because it's like, you're only up 1-0, man. Like, don't you want this 2-0 commanding 2-0 lead and go back to LA with a 2-0 lead, pretty much damn near seal this series? But the energy that Memphis had, it felt like they said to themselves that they were not leaving that building without a W that night.
Right. And you know what they did? They punched the niggas in the mouth. Literally. Literally. Low came like a lot of you.
Yeah, AD got the worst of that.
yeah, he got a cut on his eye.
But yeah, I mean, they're gritty, man. This is this franchise's low-key, this franchise's existence is that they're just so gritty, and they're gonna fight you, they're gonna punch you in the mouth. And we all know how well this team plays with and without Ja. They have this next man up mentality. And credit to them. Credit to them to getting this win. LeBron looked like he found a little bit more of a rhythm offensively in this game because in game 1, he just ain't have it.
But the team did.
But the team did. So that's why, it really wasn't too much of a problem. But Rui looks like he found his comfort zone in this team. Now let's see what happens when this team transitions back to this game transitions to Los Angeles.
Right.
I was impressed with the young kids because it was in the road that they played this well. And when you want to win a championship, it's those road warriors that you need in a playoff series to show up like this, especially when LeBron had a bad game. LeBron played well defensively in game 1, but offensively, he was really bad. So I definitely think it was a championship trait from this team. But now that they played lifeless and, they tried to steal it late, but it just wasn't enough. Now you got yourself a series. Now, can Los Angeles defend home court? I think they will. I think more and more as the series progresses, LeBron will figure out the openings in this team, in this defense, and try to get everyone else more involved. Now, the X factor here is D'Angelo Russell. Now, the reason why I think he couldn't get benched is because Schroeder was in foul trouble, so it almost came to a point where he had to play. Will he find himself in this series? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he will.
Yeah, he played the Grizzlies last year. Again, that was my fear going into the series. And game 1, he played well. I would say that game 1, he played.
He was decent.
Well.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
This game, however, he was very ugly. He was the worst player on that court, and mind you, AD had a bad game too.
He was unplayable bad, except they had to play him because Schroeder couldn't play.
I would have went big, honestly.
I don't hate that
because again, it's not like LeBron can't handle the ball. He's LeBron James.
Right. Now, what are your thoughts on Mo Bamba not playing at all in this series?
That's fine.
You think that's fine?
I think it's fine.
Because my question would be
because
I feel like Jaren Jackson, when he's doing down low in the low post, he wouldn't do that to Mo Bamba strictly off of size.
Okay.
Because the dude's looking like Hakeem Olajuwon up in here. And, he's scoring on AD. He's scoring on LeBron. He's scoring on Rui. It don't matter who they put on him. And he's scoring on him.
Because he still went 5 for 12.
Right.
He didn't play that well in that second game. The first game, he dropped like 30.
Right.
So, we still dropped 30. This game, he dropped 18. Okay, yeah, more than I thought. Because I remember there was a point, right? I'm watching this game. It was like the full court. I'm like, he's not doing anything this game.
It kind of felt like his impact was in the other end in game 2.
Yep, all the following.
Yeah, and pretty much. But I just wonder because it's like, you see, this team is kind of different from like a Phoenix, I would say, where they're kind of heavily centered around attacking in the pick and roll and having mid-range specialists.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Mo Bamba could probably play here, and he probably wouldn't get attacked too much.
I don't know. I just feel like he's not needed that much in this series. Like as opposed to like if you play like a Denver team, then we're gonna need him then because Jokic is big as hell.
Yeah, I agree with you. Maybe if like it comes to a point, let's say like if Jaren Jackson has another 30, I guess that's where the problem will start arising. Maybe.
Yeah, if you get 30 again, then you gotta think about it. Or if Xavier Tillman has another game where he has like another 25-ish point game, then you gotta think about it. Which anyway, shout out to him by the way for having
shout out to him
because he manhandled the Lakers last night.
Now 25 is crazy, but my problem was that he had I think 12 rebounds.
13.
And I'm like, how is this undersized player outmanning us? How is he outmanning the Lakers in the rebounding end, which was
effort.
I found that ridiculous.
It's all effort thing. Hell, Santi Aldama had 7 rebounds in 14 minutes. And I think Kennard had 6.
Yeah, it was just again, they just weren't leaving that building without a W that night.
Like they wanted it and we didn't. It was that simple.
I agree, 100%. It was crazy, but I mean, overall, from a fan perspective, it's a very pretty entertaining series, but it's kind of stressful as a like I guess for both teams. I can see how stressful it is as a Grizzlies fan, and I can see how stressful it is obviously as a Lakers fan. So
Right.
you know, but overall, it's a pretty good series. But I think we're all in agreement here where I got Lakers in Game 3.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah, Lakers in Game 3. All right, cool.
All right.
Yeah,
The 1-8 is next of the Nuggets and Timberwolves, and I would say this: it's fun watching Jamal Murray get hot. Like this, I feel like something we were robbed of the past few years because he was injured, and watching him and Anthony Edwards just have a duel, just it was amazing to watch.
yeah. It was a very fun thing to watch. Jamal Murray is just such an exciting player. He always has he's such a great shot maker, and it reminded me of that bubble duel that he had with Donovan Mitchell, and that was pretty much just the same thing where it was just two guys just going mano a mano, just the purest of basketball. It's just literally just a one-on-one battle, and whoever's the better man will come out on top, and that's pretty much what happened here. But overall, I just think the Timberwolves are overmatched in this series. And I think this series showed that Denver is who we thought they were throughout this entire season. And they were just pretty much just coasting because they knew they had this one seed in the bag. And they probably didn't want anyone to get hurt. And they were ready to go to war early in the season.
I mean, listen, though things they went through in the past few years, I wouldn't want anybody to get hurt either at this point. But in all seriousness, though, like the Timberwolves, I feel like threw their bench punch. Edwards had 40. Gobert had a decent scoring night, had 19 points. Karl Anthony Towns, man, you cannot have more shot attempts than points. Like he had 12 shots and 10 points. He played so awful that game, and it's not like he'll give you much on the defensive side of the ball.
It's funny because I feel like even if he could, it wouldn't even matter because just Jokic is he is just ridiculous, man. Like I've seen so many plays in this where he's just literally posting up Gobert, and I will think for Gobert's credit, for as much as we criticize him in a head-to-head matchup, body to body, I would feel like he should be getting the edge sometimes, but it just feels like he's so overmatched against Jokic in the post. It's ridiculous. I mean, I've seen him do fakes, I've seen him do half spins, I've seen him do spins, hooks, fadeaways. Whatever Jokic wants to do, he's going to do it. And like you said, they threw their best punch. This was a very demoralizing loss for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I wouldn't be surprised they get swept here, man.
And but I'll say this though: Rudy Gobert does not have the best track record against Nikola Jokic. Though he doesn't, but I get what you're saying though. Like in terms of like a one-on-one type situation, you would think he'll have his wins, but I feel like he just doesn't. But for the Timberwolves, yeah, it's brutal. And if they get swept, I feel like it's a disappointment at the end of the day because I'm not saying they were supposed to win the series because they weren't, but I feel like they should have made it competitive at the very least. They got ran off the floor at game one, and then game two, you had your best player drop 41 points, and y'all still couldn't get the win because Jamal Murray had 40 and Nikola Jokic had 27, 9, and 9.
I agree with you. I think if they get swept, is a disappointment because who this team was, I would say around like mid-April, they were around like dangerous territory, and I could dare say argue more like a team you probably didn't want to play in the first round, right. And for them to come to this, to just look so overmatched, to just look like they're just gonna get ran through. I agree with you. I think that this would be very disappointing for this team.
Yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's if you kept the players you had before, you would be a better team right now. This is what it is. And mind you, Gobert's not having a bad series by any stretch of the imagination. He's playing all right, but
like I've seen plays where it's like Bruce Brown is killing. Jeff Green is making big plays. Then you got Jamal Murray. Then you got Aaron Gordon. Then you got KCP. They just have too many guys making big plays, and it's just Minnesota just doesn't have enough to match up with them.
Yeah, the two rely on Anthony Edwards, and not having Jaden McDaniels and Nas Reed really hurts them here right now.
Badly. Very badly. Very badly. Yeah, Nas Reed, you bring Jokic up to the perimeter. You don't really got anyone down there to do that. So Jokic is just, he's coasting, man. He's literally just having a field day in the series.
Yeah, exactly. Especially since you can't play both of them at the same time because Aaron Gordon can kill Cat.
He definitely can. But I'm gonna be honest, man. I think this is over in 4, man.
I'm gonna say the Timberwolves get 1, but if they get swept, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, it's very bad down there if you're a Minnesota fan, man. My condolences. But yeah, moving on.
Moving on, we're gonna go to the East. The only series worth talking about here, I guess.
New York,
the 4 and 5, the 4 and 5 right now, split right now, going into the Garden, and well, Tom Thibodeau did it again. Julius Randle got hurt when the game was already lost. That's not what you
see. It's crazy because at this point in the game where it's clearly over, I wasn't even watching. I think I went to grab a beverage or whatever, and I hear Reggie Miller criticizing Tom Thibodeau. He's like, "Look, this is Derrick Rose all over again." So I run to the TV screen and I see the replay of what happened to Julius Randle, and I'm just like, "Why? Why haven't you learned your lesson? You ruined a potential top 75 player's career off of this, and now you're gonna ruin a great Knicks team's playoff chances off of a single game in a series where you were leading. It's only tied, and you did what you had to do. You won 1 in a row. Why would Tom Thibodeau do this? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I have no words for this, honestly speaking, because I stopped watching after the third quarter because it was clear Cleveland had the win. I would have came back if they cut down to 10 or something like that, but it was clear Darius Garland took their soul in that second game. It was ridiculous. And then I get the report later that said that Julius Randle got hurt. I'm like, why was he still playing? It doesn't make any sense. Again, you're down by 20. You're already up 1-0 in the series. So what's the problem here?
I just didn't get it. I don't know. I can't even explain. I can't even think of a reason that even makes sense. But what I would say is this series I think is going to be a classic. And I feel a lot more strongly about this series going 7. And if there was ever any doubts about Darius Garland, I feel like there shouldn't be any anymore, because in game 1, Donovan Mitchell did what he did. And Darius Garland, like you said in last show, he was good, but he could have been better. And right. Jalen Brunson took the initiative to close the game out. And in game 2, Darius Garland responded the best way possible and dominated this game to show Jalen Brunson's here, but I'm here too. I'm a top point guard as well. And I was also an all-star in this league. And he showed out, man. He showed out, and he got the Cavaliers this win. And I'm proud of him. He's a great player.
Yeah, because he didn't even shoot the ball once in the fourth quarter in that first game. And he literally came out of this first half firing. I think he felt that responsibility of, I should have been better. So I'm gonna be better. Again, dropped 26 points at halftime. Donovan Mitchell was like, "Oh my goodness, this never happened to me before a day in my life. Thank God."
Yeah, he don't know what this is like. I think Donovan Mitchell, he finished the night with under 20, I believe, right?
I think so. Yeah, under 20 or 20 on the dot.
Right, and he had 10 assists.
Yeah, he has 17-13. There you go. Yeah.
And it's funny. I was having a debate with a friend, and I was telling him that this Cleveland team, Donovan Mitchell has never been a part of something like this before. He doesn't have to be Superman in this team. And the friend was disagreeing, and literally the game right after, it shows that he doesn't have to be Superman in this team.
Right, because again, it was only the first game that,
Right.
and kudos to Evan Mobley for having a bounce back game as well, because that first game he was also miserable. Nice bounce back game for Evan Mobley. Great bounce back game for Caris LeVert, dropping 24 points off the bench. Which that's the thing with Caris LeVert though. When he's good, he's really good. But when he's bad, you can't watch him play.
Exactly. Exactly. But this series, like you said, this is the really only good series in the East. But it's one of the best series in this first round so far. But I mean, I'm sticking with my pick, but in a way, I feel like I have no idea who's going to come out in this.
I'm sticking with mine as long as Julius Randle's healthy.
Right, exactly. Makes sense.
Because if he's not healthy, then yeah, Cavs going to win the series. But if he gets a play, then still sticking with New York.
Fair enough.
Let's fly through these last. I actually do want to talk about the next one a decent amount, actually. A little bit. So the Nets and Sixers game. Good news for the Nets, right? Here was the good debate about the Nets that game too. They didn't allow 100 points. Here's the bad thing about that game. They didn't score 90.
This
lost again.
Yeah, I feel like they're getting, as the games go by, they're getting better and their defensive game plan. Too bad that they were Cam Johnson or bust in this game.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see much. McCovey's had 21 points, but still not something you want to see. And it's frustrating too if you're a Nets fan, because it's like you're getting 33-point performances for Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris getting another 20-point game, and it's like Harden sucked. And Embiid, you held him to 20.
He did. They did.
You will think, okay, that means we won, right?
Yeah. I was watching this game, and again, I think he's literally doing the best that he can possibly do to try to win this series. And they were doubling Embiid, and they weren't even letting Embiid get in the low post, man. Like, they were denying him as best as possible. But it was one of those games where Tyrese Maxey just cooked him, man.
That's literally what it was. He had 33 points this game, which he has those games. He's a great player. He has those games where he just explodes. But you just have to be frustrated if you're a Brooklyn fan. Because, again, Embiid, you're holding him to below 30. And, again, Harden sucked. You would think that would be okay. That means they won the game. No, they still lost because they couldn't score. They couldn't get 100 points.
They could not, and it's sad to see, man. It's sad to see. I still feel like they could make this series interesting because it's going back to Brooklyn.
Yeah,
they were doing this. Yeah, they're about to play. I think they are playing. Yeah, they are playing.
They play right now.
Yeah, I feel like they can win a game or two at home because they were in the road and they were defending really well. They just got to get these shots, man.
Yeah, because honestly, I could see a world this goes 7.
Me too.
They just gotta make their shot.
I definitely, because they're not threatened by this team. They feel very confident in the defensive game plan. So I agree with you. I definitely see a world this could go 7.
Like, they're down 2-0, but it's a frustrating down 2-0 because it's okay. The first game, they could have missed threes. They made 21 of them. All right, cool. Second game, Tyrese Maxey had 33, and Tobias Harris again is playing, again had 20. So it's like,
this feels like the last year Toronto series all over again.
Right.
Like, Philly is like, the team is playing to their max potential in this round.
Right, like the players around them is actually playing well for once in their lives.
Exactly, which is so frustrating. It's so frustrating. But I'm interested to see, at the end of this game, to see who comes out on top. I got Brooklyn winning this game today.
Not that they're going to win.
Yeah.
And we could speed run these last two.
We have no choice.
Especially the next one. Boston and Atlanta.
the imbalance in this series is worse than Denver's and Minnesota's. Atlanta just
Miami's. It's bad.
And Milwaukee, Miami's. This is literally the worst imbalance in this entire playoffs. So much to the point that Boston should have just got a bye week.
Might as well. They might as well.
This will be a sweep. Atlanta does not belong here. I mean, what more can I say here?
DeJounte Murray played well.
It feels like he's the only one playing well.
He tried Hunter played okay last game.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's about it.
He tried to solo Boston. He tried. He really did. But it's like
Collins, again, he got traded it feels like 2 years ago, I felt like. And Trae Young. It's Trae Young. It's crazy too, because he had a minus 18 this game too. He had a minus 18, and DeJounte Murray had a 0, plus minus of 0, and Jared Hunter had a plus minus of 4, and Trae had a negative 18 plus minus, which is actually kind of insane, actually.
There was I believe there was a new anonymous player voting thing, and he was voted the most overrated player in the league.
Is he? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like it got into the point where I think he's properly rated because he gets as much flack as he does.
I could see that. I'm just saying what happened. I'm just saying player. That's what the players believe.
No, I don't know what that's what you're saying, but it's what it is, because at the playoffs, he's going to get picked on. It's going to happen. They're going to make it a mission to score on him. And he is an inefficient shot chucker who can play make a little bit. That's what he is.
I agree with you 100%. I feel like he's more so like this. Yeah, like you said, this is what he is now. This is just what he is. And it might come to a point where I can see the way his career is going. If something doesn't happen, maybe in 5-6 more years, he might be. Teams might not want him.
Yeah, because right now, they talking about trading him. They're talking about it right now.
Yep, already.
It's a possibility he has a Westbrook trajectory. He just goes from team to team. As talented as a player as he is, he's gonna get bounced around over and over and over again around the league because what he brings to the table isn't that valuable.
Yeah, he's it's coming to a point. He's like an inefficient Isaiah Thomas.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Which it's crazy. Was it 2019? Feels like forever, right?
That's when he got drafted, right?
The year they almost made the what was the year they almost made the? Oh no, it was 2020. The year they almost made the finals.
Oh, 2020 they almost made the finals.
Yeah, the year they almost made the finals.
2021.
Yeah, it feels like forever ago, bro.
Right. Because they're getting bullied by Boston right now, and I don't foresee that changing.
Yeah, me neither. It's a sweep easily.
And last but not least, kind of, Miami and Milwaukee. So they won a game. Shout out to them.
They only won because Giannis got hurt on the spot.
And they didn't miss 8 threes.
And they didn't miss, yeah. Like
a lot of this had to happen, and Milwaukee was still in the game. They just lost.
Exactly. But when
there was Milwaukee shoot like 20% from 3.
I forgot about that they did shoot really bad from 3. That did happen.
Yeah.
But when they had a game plan,
all these things happened, and they lost by like 8.
And then when they had a game plan without Giannis, they damn near won by 40.
Yeah, Miami doesn't belong here either.
They do not, and I wouldn't be surprised if Miami doesn't win in a game.
They're not going to.
And I don't think they will. I don't think they're going to win another game.
Like, as good as Jay Butler is, not having Tyler Hero hurts. The team just sucks.
Right.
And I'm tired of Bam.
Yeah, Bam. I'm all out on Bam, man. He is ridiculous, man. I had a friend that was saying it's about time to have the Bobby Portis is better than Bam Adebayo conversation.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, no,
which is insane.
But
I tell you what, I know Bobby Portis will show up in the playoffs.
No, it's crazy. The Bam is actually not having it. Like statistically speaking, Bam is actually not playing terribly. But Brook Lopez had 25 points on his head top, which when Giannis is not there, Brook Lopez turns to Shaq, so that happens.
Pretty much, yeah, he goes back to Brooklyn.
Yeah, essentially
with defense.
Exactly.
Yeah. If Tyler Hero was here, I would say okay, maybe they win one more. But
I wouldn't say that. I would just say that I could see a game where they keep it close.
Right, but without, I mean, Hero's just too big of a loss for this team as it is already, as bad as they are. I just can't see. This is a gentleman's sweep, man. I just can't see it.
Right? They better than Atlanta. Atlanta smoked them playing, but better than Atlanta.
Yeah, whatever that's worth.
Yeah, whatever that's worth, exactly. You're definitely not the worst team in the playoffs. Congratulations, you still suck.
Right.
And that's it. That's it for the first round matchups so far after 2 games. A few things to go over real quick. The war winners, some of them already came out. So, defensive player of the year was Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yep.
Bullshit, but whatever.
I personally thought I should have went to either Brook Lopez or Nicholas Claxton, but
Mobley was not the finalist.
Oh, Mobley was the finalist?
Okay, yeah.
Good for him.
And Mike Brown, I think, won unanimous coach of the year.
Well deserving, man. I mean, he turned this franchise around, and they can potentially take down the defending champs in the first round. I mean, great job.
Right, the Kings made the playoffs. Enough said.
Yeah.
And today, Malcolm Brogdon is officially your 6th Man of the Year winner.
That dude does not miss a 3, man. Like, that dude does not miss a 3. He's. It sucks that quickly didn't win it
because didn't win it. It sucks for them, but
yeah, it sucks for them. But I mean, Malcolm Brogdon is literally like one of the best pickups I've ever seen in a team.
Yeah,
he doesn't miss. So,
but again, what's so frustrating about the Jaren Jackson thing to me? Mm-hmm. So we're just gonna reward being in foul trouble now as good defense,
which makes no sense because fouls is bad defense. That's bad plays.
It is.
So I don't get. Again, like I think we spoke about this before. I guess the only thing got to be taken into account is I guess how he plays off the switches in the perimeter. But again, he's always in foul trouble. So I don't understand it.
Average is 3.5 fouls per game.
Like, look at Brook Lopez, man.
That's second in the league.
Like, look at Brook Lopez, man. Like, look what he does for the Bucks. He will shut you down.
He's second in fouls behind Sabonis. And you know what they call Sabonis? A bad defender. Now, I understand Sabonis don't average 3 points per game, but I think the sentiment still makes sense here.
Yeah, if you're fouling, you're playing bad defense. I mean, what else could it possibly mean? And it's in a consistent basis. Like, I understand, you have a couple bad nights. Maybe the refs messed up in a couple calls. That's understandable.
Yeah, it happens.
Right.
But you're averaging 3.5 fouls per game. So that means you're either getting 3 or you're getting 4 on average.
Like, it's so bad that in game 2, he got his second foul in the fourth quarter, and it felt like a miracle.
Yeah, it felt like a miracle. That's because they swallowed the whistles for him because he was fouling a lot in that game too. They just didn't call anything.
I believe he was fouling a lot as well. He should have at least had like 5 fouls in this game, but
remember they're booking the fouls all over again.
But that is an award where sometimes someone wins and you're like, huh?
I feel like that's been me like almost every year for like the past 10 years. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it's never
with his award. Last year was one of the few times I was.
Yeah. Last year was a great one. They got it right last year.
Even if you get to Mikal Bridges, I wouldn't understand why. Last year.
Exactly. It's funny because I think the three finalists weren't even in it.
No.
Right? Yeah, it was
3 complete, and I feel like they're all first timers too. Brook Lopez is a first timer. Mobley's the first time, obviously, because second year, and Jaren Jackson is the first time as well.
Which is insane. I think Brook Lopez deserves a lot more credit. And shout out to Nicholas Claxton because I saw what you did this year. You did a phenomenal job on defense.
No, he did. No, I feel like he did as well. I saw he was at finals. I'm like, oh damn, that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
To get him mobility step, which I understand why, but still crazy.
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
that'll be all.
Yeah, that'll be all, guys. This is we're midway pretty much for the most part in the first round. When we be back, it should be either concluded or close to concluded.
Right.
No.
But be sure to subscribe to Sports Dynasty and Mafia Sports Report. Draft next Thursday, by the way, so that's a thing. And
Mm-hmm.
and continue to enjoy the playoffs. We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.